What's up, ugly ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share it for your ugly ass friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And this one right here is titled The Death of Rock Revealed. That is right, good ugly ass friends. Your girl, Raquel Thomas, will not make it to the next season, people. I had to actually do a moment of silence for this. But yeah, she's not going to make it, people. Your girl Rock is out of here. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly how it happens. And if you really pay attention, like I've been telling y'all on this channel for quite a while, just pay attention to the parallels. It's actually pretty obvious. I kind of already touched on it on other videos before. And I know for sure I also have been telling y'all for a while now that Rock might be out of here this season. A lot of y'all was glad was saying I was wrong. There's no way she's the focal point of the show. And they ain't gonna do. That's the reason why she's out of here, people. She's the focal point of the show. That's why she's out of here. Like, let's be real. Throughout, when you watch Raising Kanan, we don't really watch it and be like, man, I wonder what Kanan doing. What Kanan gonna do without this? What Kanan gonna do? We don't really say that. We're more so concerned on and focused on the other characters. And I've been telling you also for a while that something has to happen for the show to make Kanan the focal point. So that thing will be the death of Rock. So I will be covering all of that and how it went down in this particular video. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, as we know, Rock has been battling, trying to gain her son's trust back for quite a while now. She has told so many manipulative lies and done a couple little backdoor dirty things to him. But like she told him the last meeting, she did that because of him, which she was right about it. But at the same time, I think she could have possibly had a better way of going about it. And also, Kanan was sick and tired of all of her lies. So Kanan absolutely no longer has an incentive to want to protect her, like we heard him say in the episode 10 trailer. And the episode 10 trailer kind of really reveals a lot of this of what's going on if you really pay attention. But before we get all the way to the death scene, I need to show you guys how it all built up. Now, as we know, some hideous species known as snapping cap was capping last season, and they convinced your boy Kanan that it was Rock who was responsible for the death of Famous. And therefore, by default, once I believe Juke is going to tell him, because obviously she knows, Juke is going to tell him that Crystal has now been found dead as well. Or maybe it'll end up popping up another way. Either way, he'll find out. And I believe that's whose gravesite he's at right here. And the reason why, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and then of course with Famous being taken up the board, he's gonna think, well, if she'll do that to Famous, then that means Crystal is not off limits either, right? And you kind of can, if she actually was responsible for Famous, then you kind of can understand why he would think she did that as well. But ultimately, he's just not thinking right. But anyways, after Juke I believe Juke is going to make a desperate attempt to try to talk Kanan out of it, because I believe he's probably not going to directly tell Juke that he wants her dead, that he wants Rock dead. But Juke has been knowing Kanan for a very long time. She's going to be able to see it in his eyes, I believe, that Kanan has now become someone that she doesn't recognize, and he's become very dark. And she's going to be very concerned. So I could also see her paying a visit to Rock, alerting her and letting her know that Kanan isn't in a good place, and I'm not exactly sure. She might even say, I'm a little scared for what he might do or what he's worried about, because he really thinks you took out Famous. And she might even question, you know, she might even question Rock herself, because keep in mind, Rock did lie to her about what happened to her grandma Joyce, right? And I think Rock is gonna, be able to get through to Juke, because her and Juke has always had a good relationship. You never even seen them have a bad moment on screen before. In fact, she is the only one. Rock is the only one we haven't seen Juke have any conflict with. Like, we've seen her have conflict with with Lou, with Marvin, obviously, with the fight, with Kanan. But Rock, they've always had a good relationship. So in her mind, this is her beloved auntie, and there's no way that she could have done something so wicked. So she's gonna be able to believe her and go ahead and help Rock solve the mystery of who's behind this manipulative tactic to frame Rock for not only Famous now, but now Crystal as well. So who can she go to? Obviously, she's going to go back to Detective Garcia. And she's going to ask him for another favor. She's going to let him know, look, I know I owe you one already for what you did with me with Crystal, but I kind of need one more favor. And this also helps benefit you as well. I think I may know who's the people behind the death of Famous, but I'm going to need your help to confirm it. So what she's going to do, she's going to say, word on the street is that some dirty cops are the one who took out Famous. So if you can help me identify those dirty cops, you'll be able to find your killer. So Garcia's going to do some digging, just like he did with the situation with Crystal. And Juke might just tell him that he should start by looking at, Snaps and Pop. Because keep in mind, Kanan told her that they have, they have some connection to the NYPD. And Juke is smart, and her mind isn't clouded by the hatred, because she doesn't have any hatred towards Rock. So she's going to get to the bottom of it. And ultimately, I believe Garcia will get back to her with the information confirming that it was absolutely Snaps and Pop that is responsible for it. But in the midst of the search, before Garcia is able to get back to her and confirm who it was, a lot of things has transpired. One of the things is, after Kanan is convinced that it was Rock who took out Famous. Keep in mind, in episode 6, once we got the memorial service of Famous, Lou vowed to take out whoever was responsible for the death of Famous. So Kanan is going to tell Lou that it was Rock. So if you really down the way you say you are, you saying you a gangster, I can see him actually, kind of getting a little buck with Lou. Like, you saying you're a gangster, I'm telling you who it is. So what you gonna do about it? And Lou is not gonna fall for the okie doke as well, because now Lou has a clear head, and he's let go the hatred that he had for Lou. Because remember, at one point, Kanan and Lou kind of felt very similar to her about her in season 3. But throughout his therapy and finally getting to embrace who he truly is, Lou has let that go. And now he's going to become a reliable soldier for Rock and a protector of his sister. So he's gonna check Kanan and let him know, look, I understand your mother is a lot of things and she's done a lot of bad things, but this here, there's no way she did it. So he's gonna side with Rock as well, and Kanan's gonna be pissed off with that. Similar to like I told y'all in my last video with the survival of the two brothers, that Kanan just might throw a curveball towards Lou's way to clear the space to make sure he doesn't interfere with Rock ultimately being taken out. So I'm not sure who he might throw Lou's way. Like I told you, it's going to be the mob and early Tyler's people that's going to get into the way of Marvin, which is what we see here with him in this shootout. So, Marvin's going to be distracted, and then Juke is going to be distracted trying to find out, get to the bottom of what happened with Famous and Crystal situation. So she's going to be distracted. Lou is going to be distracted possibly by maybe D-Wiz brother. I'm not sure. I just got a feeling he might pop up and could get in Lou's way. But one thing we do know for sure is that Lou is going to be doing some missions for Rock too. So perhaps whatever it is he got going with the situation with Rock is what he's going to be occupied with. But either way, he's not going to be around her either to stop what's coming. And then before all of that is going to be one more ally that they're not going to expect to be an ally. And that ally will be Unique. Unique is also going to find out the truth, I believe. He's going to find out that Snaps and Pop has been playing him for a fool. And Neek doesn't like that, and he doesn't play those games. So he will find out, and it could be Juke. I'm not exactly sure on this one, but I'm going to take a wild guess. I said this before. I'm going to double down on it. Juke is the only one that knows about Rock's abortion. So it's possible she could approach Neek. And, she's the only one that's kind of neutral between the parts. She's the only one that's not really in the game. So Neek could possibly not see her as a threat and hear her out. And she's going to be able to some kind of way prove. Maybe she's going to get the doctor's records. I'm not exactly sure. But she's going to be able to convince him that Rock loved you and she was pregnant by your child and she never would do that to you. And some kind of way she's going to be able to get through to him. And now, Neek is going to also be furious, and he's going to vow to protect Rock. But Neek is going to also have another curveball thrown his way. And that curveball is that fat fuck sitting right next to him right here in this photo. I think it's possible that your boy Biggie might get the order from Russo or whoever to take him out and get clearance, and Biggie might put down Neek. I think that could be the interference that stops Neek from saving her. So it's going to be very similar to what we saw in the original Power. If you pay attention, at the end of Power, everyone was against Ghost. Even though Ghost was the one that protected everyone, in the end, they all wanted him dead. Think about this. All the people that wanted Ghost dead, let's go down the line really quickly. Tariq wanted him dead, which is the one who turns out to be the shooter. He saved Tariq's ass countless times. Tommy wanted him dead at one point. Obviously, he, once he figured out that it wasn't what he thought it was, he changed his mind, but at one point he did. Come on, we all know he done saved Tommy's ass plenty of times. Tasha, he done saved Tasha's ass plenty of times. Dre, he didn't say Dre, helped Dre out plenty of times, even though he ended up snaking them. Even Cooper Sacks. Think about it. Tommy was going to take out Cooper Saxe in episode 9, but it was Ghost who saved his life. But Saxe wanted Ghost dead. Now, Lorenz Tate, he may have had reason. That's the other way they really, I don't think Ghost did nothing to save him, really. But for the most part, most of the people that wanted him gone, he saved their lives. And the same can be said with Rock. Rock saved Marvin countless times, even though these people Marvin doesn't want her dead. She saved Lou. She saved Kanan of Ungrateful But several times. And of course, in the end, when it comes to time that Rock is going to need the saving, no one's going to be there for her. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a little sad, but I think, this is it. Rock is out of here, people. And before y'all iglass get up on here trying to say it's not. Like I told y'all, y'all thought the same thing about Monet, and I told y'all. Remember, Monet got killed at the end. Nobody was suspecting it. And that's who it was. So I'm telling y'all, and before we get up out of here, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer thing real quick again.
Making your whole world fall apart. We need to hit first and hit fast. Always protect you, and not no more.
So, hold up, let me get my badge here. You two, leave me alone. Leave me alone, man. For real, leave me alone. Got time for all that. You two trying to bother me real quick. Let me go back real quick. Now, y'all hear what Kanan saying.
Protect you. Not.
Okay, so this is what I want to point out with y'all real quick. You see Kanan here. He says he's always protecting you. I'm always protecting you, but not no more.
Not no more.
Look at his... Here, I want y'all to look at his hand gestures.
Always protect you.
Look at him. I know y'all ugly ass niggas probably gonna say I'm reaching here, but I'm just saying, really pay attention. His hand is looking like, and also is his left hand, which Kanan is left-handed. Go back and look at all the videos when Kanan is shooting a gun. Also look at the video when she told him strong hand on the top, and the other, when she was teaching him how to shoot a gun. He was shooting with his left hand, people. It's his left hand that's being pointed out. The way he's gesturing here is as if he has a gun in his hand. And pay attention to the surroundings of where he's at. He's inside of Rock's house. That's who he's talking to. I think that was kind of obvious, but I'm just saying, that's who he's talking to here. Another parallel. Tariq and Kanan are the same. That's the reason why at the end of Power season 6, he told Kanan, when he came to him as the ghost of Kanan, he told him, you knew it would always go down like this. You just had to step into it because he's already been through it. I think initially he wanted somebody else to take Rock out, but after he saw that wasn't going to work out, he had to do it himself. That's what's going on here. Think about it, because I believe what's going to happen is Rock is going to defeat all of her enemies. Neek, potentially Snaps and Pop, Stefano, all of her enemies are going to be defeated. She's going to find a way to dismantle all of them. And she's going to return home where she's going to feel safe and that she's won. And the person that she least expect to come and be the major threat is going to show up, her only weakness, and he's going to take her out. He's going to take her down right here. Just like Ghost didn't see Tariq with the Tariq situation, even though I think he did, but according to what we know now, and what I can prove, Ghost didn't see Tariq coming. So That elimination, the ugly ass niggas that were trying to say, oh, she alive because Kanan said, and I've been telling y'all ugly ass niggas over and over and over again that Kanan said, I just went to go see my moms in the original Power, episode 2 of season 2. He said, I went to go see my moms and came straight here. That don't mean that Rock is still alive. He could have been referring to her gravesite, people. So that doesn't mean she's alive, like I told you. Who knows? Here, I'll actually even go this far. Here, right here, where we see him putting a rose at a gravesite, he could be putting this at Rock's grave. It could be Rock's grave. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because like I said, he's gonna take Rock out. But remember, I told you I would come back to this. Garcia is gonna get back to Juke eventually and let her know that indeed the dirty cops who took out Famous and Crystal were none other than officers Pickley and Wiley, right? Officer Pickett or Wiley. It's Pickett or Pickley, whatever his name is. Y'all know the glad cops who I'm talking about. He's going to get back and confirm that with her, and she's going to realize that they have been getting played by Snaps and Pop, Snaps and Cap the whole time. And she's going to race over to try to, and she's going to, I think, just like Tasha, if you remember in the original Power, once Tasha started over and she realized that Tariq never texted her, because maybe she had a code with Kanan. She was like, look, before you do anything, because I can see it in your life, I believe maybe here, she's going to tell Kanan, before you make any move, contact me first. And if you remember, Tasha had a code with Tariq. She said, text me once Ghost comes out of the club. And she was going to try to take him out inside of his car, right? And after she noticed that, Tariq wasn't contacting her, she figured it out that Tariq was planning to do it herself. So very similar to that, Juke is going to figure out, whoa, this boy has lost his mind. He's really about to go and take out his mother. And she's going to try to race to save Rock, but she's not going to make it in time. And after she potentially sees Rock bleeding out, she's going to tell Kanan, you stupid fool, it was not your mother, it was Snap and Pop. And after that, that's when we get the credits. The credits will be rolling. That is how I see this playing out. So, glad niggas, definitely let me know up in these comments session. What do you think of this particular theory? I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that I think this is a very, very high possibility because all of the signs are there. You have the parallels, you have the video supports, and the build-up. I believe this is exactly what's going to go down. I might be wrong about some of it. I can't say that all the way everything is going to be 100%, the way I say it, but I can guarantee you it's going to be somewhere in that bubble for sure. But yeah, like I said, definitely let me know what you're thinking of in these comment sessions. Let me know your theory. If you think Rocket's going to survive, tell me how, what would be the alternative, what will happen, and all of that. And if you think maybe somebody else is going to end up taking the bullet. Because I think Rock will be the biggest body that falls this season. And perhaps her and Neek will both go out together. Not exactly sure, but Rock is out of here. I'm almost certain of it. I can feel it. And we got approximately, a little bit over a day before we get to see it. But yeah, Like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.